To be able to be in the presence of such a legend and great as Kareem, it means so much to me. It's very humbling.
The home of King James and the Los Angeles Lakers is 710 ESPN.
King in town.
I spent a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. And in 09, it was sparks from me, your chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
You are never too old for a family. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is dedicated to finding forever families for children who have been waiting in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Hey, son, how are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it.
When your kid can't find the language, find the lyrics. Start a conversation at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
KSPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Late Wednesday night, Suns acquiring Kevin Durant from the Nets.
What this shows is that Phoenix is going for it now.
And Matt Ishbia, the new owner in Phoenix, who just was approved last week, he wanted to get Kevin Durant, the Brooklyn Nets, that great experiment. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden. It is finally over.
You want it? Come and get it.
Just a remarkable deal for the Suns. Now they pair Kevin Durant.
Pass it, Durant throws it down.
Devin Booker.
Booker, three. Book it.
Chris Paul.
Up top to Paul for three. Good.
Some immediate championship aspirations.
Yeah, I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am. Y'all know who I am. Something new.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. ESPN Radio. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. Good morning, fellas.
First we had them like, now they like, what, baby?
Well, that dude.
What up, Key?
Hard. You. This is the most energy I ever seen you had. 3 years, man.
I woke up at 2:30 in the morning, like, what the hell just happened?
You woke up at 2:30?
Well, I saw that. Well, when we got the text on the text chain.
Yeah.
I had a feeling, though.
Yeah.
Something was trending that way.
Yeah. How you doing, though, by the way?
Good.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, Key. Yourself?
Well, those tickets are like bad stocks right about now.
Yeah, price, yeah.
This is where the King made history.
LeBron, one-on-one against Kenrick Williams, backing him in, turns, shoots, scores! There it is! All hail the new king in town!
One of the most iconic records in sports now belongs to the King.
The king, LeBron James, has passed the captain.
Congrats to the new king of scoring in NBA history. The home of King James and the Los Angeles Lakers is 710 ESPN.
You could save big when you bundle your home, auto, and other vehicles with Progressive. Now that we've covered something you could do, it's time for sports stuff you definitely could not do. Sorry!
You could not have turned that double play. If you think you could dive, then spin, then launch a perfect throw 120 feet, you must be forgetting that you get dizzy when you stand up too fast sometimes. If you tried to throw that hard, that would be the last thing you did with your arm before shoulder surgery.
But you definitely could save big when you bundle your home, auto, and other vehicles with Progressive. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Are you ready?
Lowe's always has more ways for you to save. On top of our everyday low prices, pros can save big when buying in bulk. Or if your purchase is over $1,500, ask about our volume savings program. A pro associate can provide a customized quote. Ask about our volume savings programs today. It always pays to be a pro at Lowe's. While supplies last, minimum purchase required. Selection varies by location. Lowe's reserves the right to limit quantities. Volume discount pricing quotes are valid up to 7 days. Visit your local pro desk to learn more and start saving. Offers subject to change, may not be available in all Lowe's stores.
All we gotta do is take care of business. I told you. Don't be scared.
This Friday on 710 ESPN, a Bud Light Football Friday.
Bud Light Football Friday.
On the Southlands Football Station.
On the road to Super Bowl 57 in Arizona.
The analysis, the predictions.
The hot takes.
Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy.
Who we gotta put out there? We gonna win this damn game.
That's this Friday on 710 ESPN.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager, learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max in the morning.
LA Sports Talk all day long. 710
ESPN.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
The Phoenix Suns are acquiring Kevin Durant,
Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, DeAndre Ayton. I'm going to go ahead and say, I think this team kind of challenges those 2017, 2018, 2019 Golden State Warrior teams.
Find me somewhere out in London, you know that's the hideaway.
The entire landscape of the NBA changed this week. And by the way, the trade deadline has not yet passed. Is there another domino to fall in the Western Conference? The Phoenix Suns last night acquired Kevin Durant, or I should say are acquiring Kevin Durant in a blockbuster trade with the Nets. Phoenix sending Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, 4 first-round picks, and a 2008 pick swap to Brooklyn.
Can you remember that time when we thought Rudy Gobert went for a lot?
Yeah, T.J. Warren in with KD.
Wait, Gobert was what, 3 or 4?
I think Gobert was 3.
You need like 12 for KD in that case. But anyway.
Well, essentially, yeah.
You got Mikal.
That's what I was saying. Essentially, I was just about to say you got 12 by getting the player.
Jay Crowder is one of the best defenders in the league. He's just been sitting out all year because he hasn't been happy.
These are the 3 guys that Kyrie and KD needed on the Nets with them, right? Like these are the guys.
Max, you did it again, though.
What's that?
You forgot to mention
T.J. Warren.
T.J. Warren. Poor T.J. Warren, man.
What was Warren averaging in the bubble? Didn't he go nuts?
He was going crazy in the bubble.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Adrian Wojnarowski, ESPN senior NBA insider on SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt last night. Listen.
There was an inevitability to this, that if it wasn't now, it would probably be after the season. And I think for the Nets, for Durant, I think the timing was right. But this is, again, for Phoenix, just a chance now to really make a run at a title, especially with Chris Paul, certainly at a point in his career where you don't know how much time you have left of him playing at perhaps championship level basketball.
Does the KD trade make the Suns at this moment? We'll see what happens before the trade deadline, because you know how it is now. It's an arms race, right? The team's got to reload. Does it make the Suns the best team in the West right now as we speak? And look, I know they haven't played together, but I mean, projecting how it's going to be.
D-Book just came back off injury. He just came back. You need KD to come back. But on paper, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on paper, yes. They're the most talented team. They should be projected to win the Western Conference. But go ahead,
Jay. How does this unlock DeAndre Ayton though? How does this out of the Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant? Will this unlock DeAndre Ayton?
I mean, the question around Ayton has always been, is there a hunger for him to be the best? Right? Like that's what you hear in Phoenix when you watch games. That if you're a fan of the Phoenix Suns, like that's what you always question around DeAndre Ayton. Because when he's aggressive, he's a double-double guy easily, and he should be blocking shots and being a great defensive player. So now if you're surrounded by KD going to try to bring that out of DeAndre Ayton. CP3 is already – I feel like CP3's voice may have kind of like diminished with DeAndre Ayton. That's what Jay Crowder's purpose was. For anybody that knows the Suns, Jay Crowder was the guy that handled the ups and downs for DeAndre Ayton. And I think that's what KD's going to have to do. But to me, just the West is so loaded now. I would still say that Phoenix is the favorite, but Denver has been playing the best basketball in the West. You still got Memphis, who is loaded, who is talented. The Kings have been there. I saw Kyrie Irving last night with the Dallas Mavericks. That looked different, and Luka didn't even play. The Clippers, we'll see if they make a move with Toronto for Fred VanVleet. If they can get him along with Kawhi and Paul George, they'll be in the mix. If Zion ever gets healthy, you got Zion with Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum, like they're going to be there. And Golden State is still there.
Yo, man, the West won't give it up. The East, for decades now, the West's been better than the East. It looked like the East was making a move.
But it's a good basketball, though, Jay, right? It's great names in the West, right? It's just you just rattled off all the great names, but is the basketball good? Right?
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, we got to see.
That's what I'm saying. We'll see. We'll see if the basketball is good because 2 weeks ago, we was only really sitting up here talking about 3 teams, maybe 4 teams. Now, all of a sudden, it seems like with these names shifted around in the West, the names packaged up has all of a sudden lifted the West. But is it going to be good basketball?
Well, what we say in the NBA, you're always one player away. I mean, yeah,
they got a hell of a player.
You're one player away, Phoenix. That's why you go for it. Look, Denver is healthy. Like, that's always been the question around Denver. Michael Porter Jr., Jamal, right? Like, those guys getting healthy, like, that's a big thing for them. But still, on paper, CP3, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant, you tell me a team better on paper.
I forgot who said it in baseball years ago. Someone was like, yeah, we're 2 players away. They're like, who? Because the team stunk. They said Babe Ruth and Sandy Koufax, right? But like, you're just a player away. Yeah, Kevin Durant is what people mean when they say we are a player. If any team Kevin Durant goes to is live, they just put him on a team with Devin Booker and CP3 and talent.
Yeah, I'm happy for him, though, Jay. And the reason I'm happy for him is I did not hear him at all. He did exactly what you and I said he should do, which is say, man, let's just sit down and have a cup of coffee. Let's figure this out. Let's not put it in the New York Post. Let's just do what we do. And now he's on the move to Phoenix. Remember, originally I was like, he can't leave again. But he didn't leave.
He got traded.
They moved him. Even if he went to them and said, hey, this might be a good deal for me to get up out of here. He didn't do it on social media. He didn't do it out in the public to be scrutinized for, he can't do it by himself, blah, blah, blah. This one feels different.
Jordan in Tennessee. You're on with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, ESPN Radio.
Man, I actually disagree with y'all on this one with KD not being at fault. You know what the old adage is? When the going gets tough, Durant gets going, y'all. That's what he does. OKC, Brooklyn. I mean, he's always on the move, but I pay him a lot of respect for what he does in the game. So, yes, on paper, Phoenix probably is the best team in the West. But what I think is funny is that he went to the Suns of all teams after the back and forth with Barkley about being the bus driver and everything. Now he's about to be driving the bus in Phoenix, y'all.
Oh, don't let him win a chip in Phoenix, a place Charles Barkley never won a chip. That trash talking will be epic. But I will say this. A lot of people are automatically today going to talk about the legacy of KD. And Key, as you had just may mention, he got traded. But here's how I look at KD. KD will never have a home. Basketball is KD's home.
Yeah.
He is a hooper.
Yeah,
he is the ultimate mercenary.
Yeah.
Wherever he goes in this world, as long as he has that rock in his hand, that is his home. That's what you will know KD
And here's the other thing about you said about Chris Paul. Now, look, there are lots of ways to frame KD going to Golden State, and I have framed it in the past, among other ways, as 73-win team couldn't get past LeBron. OKC couldn't get past the 73-win team. Hey, let's join forces, and then no one can stop us. That's weak, right? Or also you could see it like a bunch of ways like that. And here's another way to see it, though. KD doesn't want all the drama and stuff. He just wants to play basketball, right? And he's better at it practically than anyone who ever lived. If you just look at the pure offensive skills and now the size and the defense, it's like, come on, why isn't he the greatest player of all time?
And by the way, the reason
he just wants to play. And in Golden State, the way Steph and Dre and everyone, the culture there, you could just play basketball.
But it was also like, it was a continuity. It was the schemes that they ran.
Yeah.
And he's a basketball nerd, right? Like he loves schemes. Again, that's the thing that he was frustrated about with Kyrie and James Harden with Steve Nash. They had no schemes. Their schemes were not good.
You take it.
So now Monty Williams is probably the second best coach other than Steve Kerr, maybe the first best coach that KD has had in his career now.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot to get into here. Plus, what's the next domino to fall? Trade deadlines tonight in the NBA. Super Bowl's on Sunday, and the NBA has been dominating the sports headlines.
Key.
You know the Lakers made some moves.
Key.
The Lakers did make some moves.
Are the Lakers done making moves?
Yeah, that's the question. Are they done?
That sounds like a tease.
Yeah.
We want your thoughts on the KD trade. Plus, the Lakers land a guy they'd used the second pick in the draft not that long ago on, D'Angelo Russell.
Is Swaggy P coming back?
In a 3-team trade.
Stop. What?
Is that the blockbuster?
I'm not telling you anything, Jay.
Was that enough? Will there be, are the Lakers done dealing Keyshawn, J. Will and Max, ESPN Radio?
Coming up tomorrow on Keyshawn, J. Will and Max, the new head coach of the Denver Broncos, Sean Payton. With all his options, we'll ask him why he chose Denver, plus what he expects the future of Russell Wilson to look like. And don't miss what he has to say about the Eagles and Chiefs. Broncos head coach Sean Payton. Tomorrow with Keyshawn, J. Will and Max at 9:20 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPNU.
This is where the King made history.
LeBron, one-on-one against Kenrich Williams, backing him in, turns, shoots, scores! There it is! Oh, hail, the new king in town!
One of the most iconic records in sports now belongs to the King.
The King, LeBron James, has passed the captain.
Congrats to the new king of scoring in NBA history. The home of King James and the Los Angeles Lakers is 710 ESPN.
Meet Joe A,
Hi.
Joe B,
Hello.
and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect, support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, NA member FDIC.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Jones Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell her 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Transitioning out of the military, it's difficult. Just about everything around you changes. I would get phone calls that brothers were dying, some of them to suicide. And I found myself in another cold cemetery. And I started to wonder if I was next. It's a struggle to know that you're facing challenges, but not be ready to face them. Sleep doesn't come easy. And when it comes, it doesn't last long. You're tired all the time. I didn't reach out for that help, but thank God my wife did. She got me registered for Wounded Warrior Project. Talking to somebody that would listen to me and understood my story helped me realize that it was time to change. There's a new fight. There's a new mission, and that's something I'm eternally grateful for.
See how we help warriors combat stigma at woundedwarriorproject.org/combat stigma.
Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, that frog will boil. As a metaphor for us and all that we go through as veterans, it's a story that rings true. We learn to endure the heat in silence. We apply what we learn to life. The bills, the job, the family. Things we're expected to handle with ease. When life heats up around us, we just try to stay afloat. We let the water boil. Reaching out isn't easy, but you've never been interested in easy. You joined because you were not afraid of hard work. You are not a frog. If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait until the water boils. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach. Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the sheep sleep tonight. Oh, in the jungle, the quiet jungle, the sheep sleep tonight. Oh,
It just isn't the same without the lion. Join the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance today. Visit sdzwa.org.
Every year across America, a staggering 4.2 million youth are homeless or trafficked. Covenant House is the national leader providing safe housing for youth, 50 years strong. Help us fight youth homelessness. Go to covenanthouse.org.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Every second counts in a poison emergency. That's why Poison Help is standing by 24/7 to provide free assistance in over 100 languages. Save Poison Help as a contact in your phone today. Poison Help. 1-800-222-1222.
LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
The Phoenix Suns are acquiring 13-time NBA All-Star, former MVP and Finals MVP Kevin Durant in a blockbuster trade with the Brooklyn Nets, sources told ESPN's Who Else? Adrian Wojnarowski. Phoenix is sending Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, 4 first-round picks, and a 2028 pick swap to Brooklyn for Kevin Durant and TJ Warren. TJ Warren got him the pick swap, I think, Keith. Yeah. Kyrie Irving scored 24 points in his Mavericks debut to lead Dallas over the Clippers 110-104. Norman Powell gave him 24 points, and Terrence Mann added 21 for the Clippers in the loss. So Kyrie wins his first game in a Mavericks uniform and without Luka Doncic. The Los Angeles Lakers have agreed to trade Russell Westbrook to the Utah Jazz to reacquire the guy they spent the second pick in the draft overall 4 years ago, D'Angelo Russell, guard from the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's a 3-team, 8-player trade. The Lakers also get Malik Beasley and Jared Vanderbilt in the trade, while the Timberwolves will receive guards Mike Conley and Nickeil Alexander-Walker and picks. Tune into NBA action tonight as the Lakers host the Bucks. Coverage begins at 9:30 p.m. Eastern on select ESPN radio stations. Trade deadline ain't over yet, folks. Sports Center presented by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save nearly $700 on average. Call or click today and find out if they can save you hundreds on your car insurance.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
The Phoenix Suns are acquiring Kevin Durant, Jordan in Tennessee. You're on with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, ESPN Radio.
You know what the old adage is? When the going gets tough, Durant gets going, y'all.
By the way, greatest 12 hits of all time. By the way, I've never, like, when the going gets tough, Durant gets going, why should a player who has only a handful of prime years, who's one of the 400 best, and in Durant's case, maybe the very best, out of a planet with 7.5 billion people, all of whom, it is barely an exaggeration to say anyone on earth who can play in the NBA is playing in the NBA. It's the most competitive league in the world because it's not full contact like football. You have long careers, you make a lot of money, you're a big star. Anyone who could play in the NBA basically on earth is playing in the NBA. There's no 6'10" guy who's crazy good at basketball who's like, writing books. Like Michael Crichton was 6'10". If he could play in the NBA, he'd have played in the NBA.
So big for no reason.
The point is you do that, you spend your whole life honing your skills, and you finally get there, and you're supposed to spend 3-4 years of your life in no man's land because the team is mismanaged? What sense does that make? Get out of there.
Max, you said the word. You said mismanaged. Whose fault is Brooklyn? Whose fault is Brooklyn's demise? You putting out on the management? You putting out on the players?
Well, ultimately, I blame the owner of the team. Ultimately, that's where I go. Does KD's trade now make the Suns, new ownership, the best teams in the West, the best team in the West? Travis in Arkansas, you're on with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Hey, good morning, fellas. Good morning. First off, I love the show. And Jay, did Stephen A. ever give you that Armani suit that he owes you from that weird bet?
No,
but anyway,
I doubled down. He won it back though. I should have doubled down. You're right.
Yeah, but still, Memphis Grizzlies, man. Memphis Grizzlies. I'm not a Memphis Grizzlies fan, but if you want to talk about chemistry, they haven't been making any big moves because that team is still solid.
Excitement. Zach LaVine in L.A. playing with LeBron James. You know what that's going to look like? If an AD trade, could you imagine a KD trade getting bumped off the front page? They just bumped the Super Bowl off the front page. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, ESPN Radio.
This is where the king made history.
LeBron, one-on-one against Kenrick Williams, backing him in, turns, shoots, scores! There it is! All hail the new king in town!
One of the most iconic records in sports now belongs to the king.
The king, LeBron James, has passed the captain.
Congrats to the new king of scoring in NBA history. The home of King James and the Los Angeles Lakers is 710 ESPN.
Are you working way too hard for way too little? There's never been a better time to consider a career in IT. You could enjoy a recession-resistant career in a rewarding field with plenty of growth opportunities and often flexible work environments. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. You could start your new career in months, not years. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to qualified students, including the GI Bill. Now is the time. mycomputercareer.edu.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Sarah wants a yard. My own little paradise. Brad, however, hates yard work.
The only thing I hate more than cutting the grass is paying someone to cut the grass.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Sarah and Brad found a great home with a yard. A very, very small yard.
Time to get it done. And I'm done.
Bundling without compromise at geico.com.
The Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council present the story of Tom and Levi.
Tom is the smartest man I know. He's been a professor at 2 major universities, been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, he told me that he was having problems in his classes. I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. And he was telling them that he was doing it as a favor to them, but I think in reality he just wanted to get out of there. I was really starting to worry because I saw something was wrong.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me, and my love for him was just immense.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
The biggest show on the radio. Mason in Ireland on 710.
I got something stuck in my teeth that's driving me crazy. Anybody got floss? I mean, isn't flossing in public a little gross?
Yeah.
Monday at 1 p.m.
on 710 ESPN.
Over 2.8 million Americans have served in our military since 9/11. Many have returned home with devastating injuries and few resources for them and their families. This is news correspondent Bob Woodruff. I sustained a life-threatening injury while reporting from Iraq in 2006. The military had my back that day, and they have each other's while serving. It's time we had theirs. Please join us as part of the Got Your Six initiative. To learn more, go to gotyoursix.org using the number 6.
You are never too old for a family. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is dedicated to finding forever families for children who have been waiting in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
I noticed that my central vision started to blur.
The figures that are usually straight started to distort to become wavy.
What are these little dark spots with blurring that I'm seeing?
There's a blind spot like a blob over my vision now.
Is my vision lost forever?
Why did I wait so long to see a retina specialist?
Retinal disease can steal your eyesight, but it doesn't have to. Patients who seek care from a retina specialist in a timely manner have the best chance of preventing vision loss due to age-related macular degeneration or diabetic retinopathy. AMD symptoms to look out for are distortion or warping of straight lines, as well as blurred or loss of central vision. Patients with diabetic retinopathy should seek treatment if they notice the appearance of spots or floaters or blurred and distorted vision. Don't delay seeing a retina specialist. It's worth the visit to save your vision so you don't miss out on life's precious moments, like seeing your grandchild grow up, enjoying a sunset with that special someone, or reading a good book. Visit seeforalifetime.org.
KSPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
The Phoenix Suns are acquiring Kevin Durant,
Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, DeAndre Ayton.
Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop.
I'm going to go ahead and say, I think this team kind of challenges those 2017, 2018, 2019 Golden State Warrior teams.
I think they have an opportunity to be one of the top teams in the West, no question about it.
My dogs is with it. You want it? Come and get it.
This move ain't about 5 years from now. This move is about today. Jordan in Tennessee. You're on with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, ESPN Radio.
You know what the old adage is? When the going gets tough, Durant gets going, y'all.
Whose fault is Brooklyn?
Ultimately, I blame the owner of the team.
Shut up, no. Dogs gon' drop, dogs gon' drop. Is it when you shut them down, open up shop?
This is Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max coming to you live from the Heineken River Deck of Pier 17. We asked at the beginning of this week, Key, Jay, we asked the question, what would it take to bump the Super Bowl off the headlines, right? And we were like, we're speculating, like a KD trade. Last night we get a KD trade.
Was it speculating?
We get a KD trade last night. By the way, NBA has been dominating the headlines all week with off-season moves, and now KD, the trade deadline's not till 3 p.m. And we're starting. Oh yeah, we're trying to put two and two together. AD didn't look happy on the bench when LeBron set the scoring record. Well, hold on a second. If an AD trade were to come, that would bump the KD trade off the headline. This is wild in the NBA right now. Wild. Phoenix Suns are acquiring Kevin Durant and TJ Warren, Key. It's called the TJ Warren trade.
God, man.
Well, come on, get a guy some love. You just gloss right over the guy. I agree, Key. It's like, what, does he not exist?
He went to work in the bubble, Max.